Alright, so let me show you how to create an army of overhead people. So the first thing we do is just create the person, and it's really pretty basic. So you can see the person here. It's just made up of a few shapes. So let's do one from scratch. So it's just an oval for the body, and then for the head what I'm going to do is use the call out bubble. So I've got the bubble here, and then just move this around for the nose. Now if you're doing training for politicians, you might want to opt for a really long nose. But for normal people, you could probably go with a smaller nose and just put that on top of the body. And then the arms are just going to be rounded rectangles. And you can use squares, but I kind of like the rounded corners, and you can, play with the rounding of them. And then the hands are just going to be rounded rectangles as well. But again, you could do whatever you want to. And I kind of tilt them a little so they're not quite straight. But you could also use a like an oval for the hand as well. So we'll bring this forward, and that's our arm. Let's tuck that in a little. So we've got our arm here. It doesn't have to be perfect because these are going to be really small anyway. And let's make this a little thinner. So we've got our arm. We can group this, and then we'll copy this over here. Let's move this up, and then we're going to copy this one over here. We're going to flip it. And, oops, where's my flip tool here? We're going to flip it, and we'll send the arms to the back. And that's basically our person. And then all we do now is fill them with colors with the gradient fills. And so you can play around with it. If you notice on the gradient fills, let me actually ungroup all of this, make sure everything's separated. On the gradient fills, you'll notice, like on the head, it's a little lighter, and then it goes out dark. So I used a radial fill, and then it did the same thing here, and I did the same thing on the arms. So you kind of have some separation. So what's nice with PowerPoint is you have this format painter. So I already have this head built. So once you fill the gradient fill on one object, just select it, then go to format painter, double click on it, and then I can apply it to my hands here, and I can do the same thing for the suit. So I can apply it to the suit, and now oops, let me do the head. So that quickly I've got my person done, and then it's just a matter of taking this person and copying it a few times. And so that's what I did here, is I copied the person a few times, and then I just went in and made different clothes colors, and then at this point you don't know if they're male or female. So that's where you can come up with the different hair, and I'll show you how to build the hair real fast. So let's delete these right here. So the way I do the hair is there's a couple ways. One is you can do shapes. So you could just take these shapes here and then move them around so they don't look exactly the same. And then you fill them with black or whatever, and that's what I did on this shape. So this is that shape filled a couple times. You can see it here, and you can see it here as well, and I just dropped a circle on it. Now to create these other shapes, all you have to do is, let's do this here. So I would create a few heads, right? And then, or actually, we'll just create the one head. And then you just come over here and you draw your hair. So we'll draw the hair with the tool here. It doesn't have to be perfect, and we'll say this is a guy here. And we'll create another one that's kind of his part. And let's say we got this here. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect because it's hair. We're going to fill this with just blue for right now. Okay, so now what we want to do is let's copy this and then move it over. So that's one hairstyle, and then we can change the fill color on it. And then if I wanted to create a woman, I can kind of do like maybe a bun or something here. So we've got that, and then we can create a bun, and then we'll fill that as well. And then you can come in here and play with the gradient fills. And so I would do a linear fill, and that's what I did here. So I did a linear fill, so it's a little darker and goes to light. You can see just using the fills. And if you apply a drop shadow on the shape, it creates a little separation. I think it makes it a little bit more visually interesting. So once you do that, it's just create the body, create a bunch of hair like I did here, and then you can see you can have the same hair. You can color it a few different ways, and you can even make ninjas. So you could do overhead people really fast.